Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Everybody, and welcome to the Sports Podcast. I'm Joel Anderson.
I'm Jordan Pomaville.
And joining us, as always, is the sports outsider, Phil Ranta.
Help me, I'm outside. No, actually, it's pretty nice out here.
Oh,
It's not bad. I don't mind being outside. I just don't know anything about sports.
It's springtime in Los Angeles, so we are recording this outside.
Yeah. Spring has sprung.
Yep.
It's true. That's the saying.
Isn't it springed? No?
Spring has sprang.
Spring
sprang. Yeah, spring sprang.
It's a drank, and drunk.
Yep.
Isn't it
You're
spronged,
drunk.
maybe? Spring is spronged?
Nope.
Hey.
I think you had it right the first time with sprung.
Yeah, spring is sprung. Yeah.
Spring is sprung.
I agree.
You sprain your ankle.
Yes.
It's totally different.
This is a great grammar podcast. It's an excellent grammar podcast.
Say, Phil, did you catch any games this week?
You bet your tootin' I did.
Really?
Yeah. I watched the final game of March Madness.
The last one.
Yeah, Michigan took on Louisville.
Yeah.
Louisville.
Yeah, right.
Michigan was my alma mater.
Right.
Still is my alma mater.
Yeah.
They lost.
Yeah.
They didn't do well. I think they did fine. It
was close.
They were shooting the ball up into the hoops.
Do you have any other analysis on the game?
I drank a lot of beer.
Yeah.
And that kept me going. It was fine.
What would be your criticisms?
There was one buzzer beater at the end of the first half didn't go in. It was Louisville. Louisville was the one that shot it, so I didn't want it to go in. But the fact that it didn't go in, I still went, oh, I would love to see that go in. There's a lot of dunks in that game, though.
There were a lot of dunks.
A lot of alley-oops, too.
Dunk City, USA.
Yeah, it was.
I love dunks.
But no buzzer beaters. Lots of long threes, but no buzzer beaters.
Well, the buzzer beater is a true rarity, Phil.
Yeah, I know.
You can have at most two of them in a game.
Yeah, it's kind of like an orchid. Like, it's unique and beautiful.
Actually, in Pro Ball, I guess you could have four.
Yeah, you could have four.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What about? Have you been playing any Tecmo Bowl lately?
Maybe. Is there an update?
Tecmo Bowl update. Watch update.
Tecmo Bowl update, watch update. Brought to you by
Febreze. Feel the taste in your scrotum.
Wait, what?
I don't like.
Did
that
they just
at all.
use scrotum in a
That
drop?
was an aggressive drop.
Do you listen to these before we get them? Because
No, I
I've
just
told
hit
you I
the-
really don't like the potty humor, the bathroom humor.
Well, Jordan, they're paying us.
Yeah.
I
They
just-
send us the drop machine in a manila envelope, and I open it right before the podcast, and I push the button.
Drop machine? They
Yeah,
have
there's
a drop,
a drop
machine?
machine. Yeah, it's just a little
Like those soundboards.
Phil,
with
is there-
quotes
is there-
from Kindergarten Cop?
Yeah,
Is there
exactly.
a chance that you might have spilled your Coke on it and it's malfunctioned? Because I can see it from here and it looks sticky.
I mean, I did. I dropped Coke over everything. That's how I mark my territory.
All right. Tell us about the
Tell us what you
1991
gave.
49ers.
The 1991 49ers with another impressive win against the Saints, winning 35-0.
Oh,
the
wow.
Saints had very good defense back in 1991.
No.
Yeah.
No,
No,
not in real life.
As
No, they
soon
did
as
not.
as soon as I hiked the ball, there was somebody putting pressure on Joe Montana, so I couldn't pass that much. What I could do is the same thing I was doing before, sending him out long and then running with Joe Montana. Joe Montana, I think, had 120 yards rushing in that game, and only like 250 yards passing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the sort of game. That was the box score people were accustomed to seeing Joe Montana back
You
in
would
the
think
day.
they would have learned. The Saints would have learned.
What's the record at now?
The record is at what is it? 11-0 or 10-0?
I think it's 12-0.
Because we're going to we're going into week 12.
He's already
so
had
it's
okay.
10-0.
Okay, yeah. So
11
Right?
Yeah,
Because
if
I had
you're
a
going
bye
in-
week.
Yeah, okay, 10-0.
Okay.
So the quest for perfection continues.
the
Yeah,
march to
1991.
18-0.
Yep, I'm trying to be the opposite of what the Lions did.
Actually, the Lions in 91 were pretty good.
Okay.
They were, yeah.
I assumed.
Oh, wait. I don't think Joe Montana was on the 49ers in 91.
Yeah, it was before he went
Tecmo
to the
Super
Chiefs,
Bowl
right? He went
would
to the Chiefs
disagree.
in 92 or 93, I thought.
We'd have to look that up.
Tecmo Bowl update, watch update.
Tecmo Bowl update, watch update. Brought to you by
Febreze, I feel bad about the crass comment I made earlier. Woo!
I think it's malfunction. I think we should let them
Yeah,
know.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's funny that it would malfunction and still have words.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the million monkeys on a million typewriters.
I don't know how a drop creator works. So
Magic, Joel. Black magic.
Tim Tebow, update, watch, update.
Tim Tebow update, watch, update. Brought to you by.
Mentos, feel the rush in your mouth.
See, that one still
I
works
love
great.
Oh,
Mentos.
Mentos. They know how to make their drops.
You know,
Yeah.
at the time, I was very critical of the Mentos drops.
You were so tough on it.
I
You're like,
was.
there's a goofy voice,
Yeah.
and I'm Jordan, and I like normal voices.
I like normal commercials that sell to me, the average man.
Yeah.
Buy some Mentos. They make your breath fresh. That's a good
Yeah.
message.
Yeah.
To me, the average consumer, the average man.
Right. You don't even know what a rush feels like.
Buy
in
some
your mouth.
Mentos. They're hard then chewy. Then they dissolve. They're cheap. They're in the vending machine.
You're very
That's where you'll
literal.
find 'em.
Now that's real life. I love it.
Tim Tebow to attend voluntary off-season workouts.
Hey, voluntary.
He's under contract for 2 more years with the Jets, but it's well known they're shopping him around.
Okay.
He's not required to, nor does he have any financial incentive to attend these workouts. But it's just not like Tim to not show up for something.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta stay in shape. It's a free personal trainer, right?
Why is this news?
It's not.
It's not. It's Tim Tebow.
Oh, I see. I see.
Darrell Revis also may be there, and he might not be with the Jets anymore.
I
Yeah.
don't know that. Regis?
Darrell Revis.
Oh, I
They're shopping him around.
was gonna say.
Which makes
Regis
less sense.
gets
Darrell
shopped
Revis,
around.
really good.
Really good.
Really
Yeah.
good. Not sure why you'd want to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Tim Tebow, update, watch, update.
Tim Tebow, update, watch, update. Brought to you by.
Mentos, feel the rush in your mouth.
Huh. Okay, that was.
I feel like Mentos knows they're back on my good graces.
Right. Yeah.
And now I feel like they're pushing my buttons.
They're really pushing it. I think that was Abe Vigoda who's doing the drop.
Wow, we got Abe Vigoda to do our Mentos drop.
I-
Well, they're not our drops. They're Mentos. They
Yeah,
send
this is
them
going
to
out to podcasts all over America that are doing updates about Tim Tebow.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Terry Francona in Lost in Cleveland.
Yo,
What?
That
I would
sounds
hate
like
to be
some
lost
sort
in
of
Cleveland.
total nightmare scenario.
Yeah.
Terry Francona, manager of your Cleveland Indians, he has an apartment 2 blocks away from Progressive Field. That's the name of an insurance provider.
Oh.
I'm not describing the stadium, which has a bunch of logos of a caricature of a Native American
Right.
who just couldn't be happier to be in a
It's a
baseball cap.
decidedly
Damn leftist
not
field.
progressive
Yeah.
field.
So he has an apartment 2 blocks from there, and he plans in the future to take his scooters. Well, actually, that's very progressive to the game. He wants to
Yeah.
take a scooter to the game
Good for
instead
fuel
of a car.
efficiency. Yeah.
This time he
So it's
decided
2 blocks.
Yeah, 2 blocks.
You can't just walk.
Well, he tried,
Not in Cleveland.
and he gets lost 3 times.
He got in 2 blocks.
He got all turned around.
Without
I can
a
imagine
scooter.
that's what you would have to say when you're lost. And the second time you have to ask for directions. Anytime you're asking for directions, second time I think you got to go. Well, we got kind of turned around.
Yep.
You
How
know,
do
he
you get
told
turned
us,
around for 2 blocks?
told us to take a left, and we went over there, and
Here's the thing.
we got kind of turned around.
Much as I can understand how one might get lost in Cleveland, because you'd look around and go, "Oh wow, it looks really shitty here." You keep going, you go, "Wow, it looks really shitty over here too." Is this the same shitty part I was in before, or is it a new shitty part?
Yeah, it's the Cement
It's so
City,
hard to
right?
say,
Isn't that
yeah.
Cleveland's nickname? The Cement City.
I believe it's the city that never sleeps.
Ah,
actually.
the city that never
No,
sleeps because they're
that's
covered
New
in
York
cement.
City, isn't it? I think Cleveland sleeps a lot.
Yeah.
Big Easy. The
Yeah.
Big Easy.
No, I think that's actually-
I
that's
think
New
it's the
Orleans.
big
Ah.
sleazy.
Ooh,
That could be it.
Yeah.
I thought that's the Dirty Dirty. I thought that's
Oh,
Atlanta.
yeah. You're right.
But anyway, if you're the manager of a baseball team, first of all, I think if you are in any American city and you are 2 blocks from a Major League Baseball stadium, you should be able to find your way there.
There are large light towers attached
Yes.
to most major
Yeah.
league and football stadiums,
Like simple observational
hundreds of
skills.
feet in the air.
Yeah.
They're used to light the field. A lot of games played at night.
I believe it.
Also, the stadium's very rarely like built into the ground, like usually pretty tall.
It is a very tall stadium.
Normally
Oh,
the
it's not an
tallest building in
underground
the
stadium?
Near
It's not one of those
No.
underground
Where the Rat Kings play.
where you knock on the door. What's the password?
Yeah. You can't come into my baseball.
We should not be so sure. There
2
could
dimes
be
and a
an
nickel.
underground
Oh,
stadium.
come on in.
Cigarettes. That's the cigarette girl.
Cigars, cigarettes, cigarillos.
Love it.
All right. But he afterwards, after the whole incident, Terry Francona said, "Cleveland is officially the nicest people I've ever met." Don't bother to correct the grammar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone I did walk by said hello, and that's a little different than I'm used to. Francona, who used to manage the Red Sox, whenever he'd get lost in Boston, he might hear something totally different, like,
Hey, go fuck yourself.
Hey, fuck you, Francona! What the fuck?
Hey, where's your little fairy scooter?
okay, why are the fans in Boston talking like people from New York?
What? No, they're not.
Yeah, they.
Oh,
not
no,
Boston
yeah,
accents
That
at
was
all.
the drop that Boston sent over to us.
You can put your excuses in a sack, Phil.
What? That's the drop. I just hit the drop machine button.
NCAA bans Louisville's men's team from attending Louisville's women's team's games.
Wait, let's unpack this. Louisville banned their men's teams from attending women team games.
Louisville won the national championship.
I was there. I watched it.
You were not there.
Asterisk earlier this episode.
It happened in Atlanta.
No, I was in a bar watching it,
Right,
drinking a lot of beer.
Yeah.
Just a lot of beer.
We went over that.
Oh,
What'd you have?
Lager. I don't remember what kind of beer it was. It was whatever's on special. They were doing 2-for-1s at Rocco's in Culver City. Rocco's, feel the pizza on your tongue.
Oh, I love Rocco's.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right. Is that a 2-for-1 happy hour? That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Have I-
They give you just a double-sized beer for the price of a single-sized beer. It's in a giant Viking mug too, so you feel like not a giant. You feel like a warrior.
All right.
With giant mug, Rocco's.
Right.
Feel the pizza on your tongue.
So Louisville's men's teams wins.
Yes, the win.
The women's team of Louisville is playing in the women's national championship Tuesday in New Orleans.
No.
We remember Alex Smith, still in New Orleans.
Yeah.
No.
However, so they were planning on jumping on a plane and going over there to watch their women's team because only one other time in history has a men's team and a women's basketball team both won. It happened to UConn in 2004.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Louisville wins, and they want to go support their brethren, their
Also,
their colleagues.
their
that would
sister-in.
probably, double the crowd for the women's
Exactly.
national
The
championship.
NCAA at fault for halving the crowd effectively.
Yeah.
They say they can't go. It would be constitute an improper benefit.
What?
And here's the so that they recant the next day. They realized their own silliness, and
It's very silly.
very
What,
silly.
to go support their team? I don't get it.
They didn't want them to do it because it constituted an improper benefit. to
I
have
don't
them jump
understand
on
why that's a
There's a lot
benefit.
of weird student-athlete rules. And the thing is, Rick Pitino can go. And on the way flying over there, he violated like 5 NCAA rules.
Yeah.
Just on the way over there. He's Rick Pitino.
Oh, is he a rapist?
Jesus.
No, what does he do?
It's not that I'm aware of.
He's a basketball coach. We can't keep
Oh, he
going
did
back
sleep
to
with that.
Jerry Sandusky.
No,
He did
America's
sleep with that
roller
one.
coast.
He did sleep with that one waitress, though, right? That was a thing.
I think it was, yeah.
Was that him?
Might as well have been.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we
don't-
just
I still
slander
don't
Rick
understand
Pitino? What else?
Well,
do
I'm pretty sure
things?
Kentucky got in some trouble after he left. I think he's one
Yeah.
of those. Like, he leaves and then the school gets sanctioned. Calipari's done the same thing.
Yeah.
To a much
Calamari.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, that was the NCAA. They came back and said, "Oh, you can come," but by then they'd already flew him back to Kentucky, and Rick Pitino's going to be there.
That's great.
Yeah.
Looking like an idiot.
Looking like an idiot without his. And you know what? In terms of, you said, like, we have the audience by not
Yeah.
allowing the 15 members of the team to go.
Where are they holding the women's championship game?
The New Orleans.
Is it the Superdome?
No.
I was about to
It's
say, they're not going to
it's
sell
whatever
all
their
those
arena
tickets.
is. It's whatever
Yeah.
their arena is.
Whatever it is, they're not going to sell all those
And
tickets.
the thing is, at halftime, you can have the Louisville men's team come out and play a little scrimmage, and
Yeah.
everyone get into it. See some dunks,
Yeah.
see some oops.
Play some jock jams.
just as long
yeah.
as nobody gets hurt.
Right.
You'd hate to see like a halftime thing and some guy hideously shatter his leg in half.
That would suck.
Yeah.
All
did
right.
Did you see that footage, Phil?
No, I don't know what you're talking
It's the
about.
worst.
I wonder if we can have Phil pull it up and have everyone at home
don't
listen
like
to Phil
watching
watching.
things.
Let's save it for later. We got a big show today. We got
Okay.
Sally from HR do a March Madness recap and give us
Right?
some
Sally
pro
Sally
tips.
won the pool again.
Yeah.
Everyone should know.
I was proud of her.
Really? Because this is like the 4th year in a row?
She knows as much about sports as I do.
I'm impressed. I guess I kind of it's one of those things that anytime I enter any pool and someone's like, "Oh, my bracket's totally busted," I'm like, "Fuck you! You weren't gonna win anyway."
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
one wins these things.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
up
let's at
against
least-
50 people. You're not gonna win.
Well, Sally does.
Let's at least have Sally break down her thought process and see,
Yeah.
because she had Wichita State in the Final Four.
She did, and later on the show, Mike Trout.
Oh, the Mike Trout.
The Mike Trout.
Oh wow, big. He Mike Trout. One of the only reasons I fielded a competitive fantasy baseball team last year.
Wow.
He's a great
Yeah,
player.
something's
he's
fishy about that guy.
Oh jeez.
And Phil, do we have a weird sport?
You're goddamn right we do.
Let's get to it.
Yeah.
All right, I sent Phil out for burritos.
Absolutely.
I am a hungry guy.
Yeah.
Also, he doesn't like to be here when we have Sally on the show.
I know. I remember.
Hold
Hey!
on, are these the headphones
Hey,
that I put
hey,
on?
Yeah. Hey Sally, why don't you go ahead?
Oh, I can hear you so loud.
Yeah. That's.
Well,
Thank you, Sally.
It's so loud. Where's Phil?
oh, he had to run out. He had to run out to get us burritos.
Yeah.
He's very sexy.
I know.
Very sexy,
He's,
man.
he's very tall. He's tall, dark, and handsome.
Ooh, yeah. Tall, dark, and handsome.
Okay. All right.
But for real, Sally, you've won.
I win.
Yeah, you've won the
I
March.
win. I won March Mad.
won it
March
again.
Madness.
$200 this year.
$200.
Yep.
I'm excited. I've got a kitty scratching post with my kitty's name on it.
Okay.
Yeah, is that what you're gonna get with the money, or is that what you've already got with the
No,
money?
it's just I put his name on it. I embroidered it.
Okay.
We already own it.
All right.
So that was just a comment that was.
$200 for the embroidery.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay. For the embroidery and a scratching
There's a
post.
lot of
it's-
Z's and Z's.
Okay. So just to break it down here, you correctly picked Louisville to win it all. Now they were the number one overall.
Laville.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Fine.
Laville.
But a lot of people, while they were the number one overall seed, came out of a really tough bracket. You still picked them to win the whole thing.
I had 'em winning.
Yeah. So what was the thought process there?
Well, it's because their mascot is a tabby cat, which is my favorite kind of cat.
What?
No, that's wrong. Their mascot is the cardinal.
Cardinal, like a bird.
It's not the tabby cat.
Oopsies. Still, I thought it was a tabby cat.
And that's why you picked him to win the whole thing.
The Louisville tabby cats.
Well, a lot of people picked Louisville to win the whole thing, but what separated you from the rest of the pack by a good, I believe, 80
By
some
leaps
points
and bounds.
was the fact that you had 3 of the Final Four. You also had Wichita State.
Wichita State Shockers.
Why'd you have them?
Well, their colors, they made me think of a bumblebee.
Okay,
That was it.
do you think bumblebees are particularly fearsome?
No,
or?
no, I also hate Ohio State. Bunch of bastards. Stupid jerk bastards. I hate them. I
Okay.
hate Ohio State. They're stupid.
All right. Oh, now you did not. Now you also had Michigan.
Yeah,
which
in
was-
Michigan in the final game.
Michigan, Wolverines are a kind of cat. They're a kind of cat, and
No,
they're
they're
not.
not at all a
That is
kind
not
of
in
a
the
very
feline.
fearsome
they're,
rodent.
No, they look cuddly. They look cuddly.
No.
I can assure you that
cat
they're
and
not.
Well, they look cuddly.
All
Very
right.
sharp teeth.
But you did not. The only one you did not have was Syracuse.
No,
Yeah,
I
what's-
didn't. I don't like Syracuse.
Why don't you like Syracuse?
They have orange. They're orange.
Yeah.
What's wrong
That
with
reminds
orange?
me of a tiger, and tigers are just too big of a cat.
Too big of a cat.
Too big of a cat.
They're too big of a cat. They're more like dogs.
It's more cat
I
than you
hate
can handle.
dogs.
You hate dogs.
Tigers are the dogs of the cat kingdom.
All right. Now, do you have any
Okay.
other insight into the Final Four matchups? For
I
us?
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got kitty tips. Kitty tips.
Okay,
Do
that's
you
not
know
insight
that you
into the.
can knit little hats for your cats and make them even cuter?
That's okay.
And kitties like tuna, and they come running when you open the can.
Oh, okay.
And when they hear
All
the
right.
little can over there, you hear the little pat feet.
I don't know that our audience is particularly interested
Yeah.
in
This
this.
isn't really.
And you know what? Your kitty, they love you even when they don't act like it. That's a kitty tip. They're full of love.
Right.
And not a lot of people know this, but you shouldn't feed your kitty people food because it makes their litter box smelly.
Wow.
This has been Sally's Kitty Tips on the Sports podcast.
No,
Tune
don't
in
brand
every
it.
Week.
Don't brand it.
for
We're
more
not doing.
kitty
We're not
tips.
doing more kitty tips, Sally.
Brought to you by
no, we're not having a.
Meow Mix. Meow 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 meow
No,
meow meow. Feel
stop.
the meow meow
Thank
in
you
your meow
very
It's
meow.
not
Thank
an
you
official
very
drop.
much.
They didn't
Feel the
pay
meow
us.
meow in your meow meow.
Thank you very much,
Meow.
Sally.
Thank you, Sally.
Put down the
Thank
microphone.
you.
Put down the
Meow.
headphones.
Hey, we are super excited to have in the show today the one, the only reigning AL Rookie of the Year, finished second in the MVP race, Mike Trout.
You're excited? I'm excited. Mike Trout, I get to be on a podcast.
Oh, well, hey.
Oh, gee willikers, I'm excited. Wow. Oh, man.
we are super,
Woo-hoo!
really excited to have you on the
it's
show
so great
too, Mike.
to be on the podcast. Wow. Oh, man. Sports podcast.
Yeah,
All right.
hey.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. No, I mean, we're thrilled to have you, Mike.
You're thrilled. All
You
right.
One hell of a year last year.
Sports podcast. Joel Anderson, Jordan Pomaville. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, so
All right.
we just wanted to ask you some questions.
Yeah.
Mike,
Questions on the sports podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
So do you have a place in LA yet?
Oh, yes, I do. All right. I live with my parents. All right. Jeff Trout is my dad, Jeff Trout, and he was a former minor leaguer. And my mom's name is Debbie.
That is great.
Her name is Debbie.
So what
Good mom name.
Yeah.
Gee willikers. All right.
What's your favorite part of playing Major League Baseball?
Favorite part of the Angels?
Favorite
part of playing for the Angels?
Major League Baseball.
Oh, playing Major League Baseball. I like playing for the free soda pop in the clubhouse. I don't drink the kind with caffeine, though. I'm caffeinated on the world. All right.
That is fantastic.
I think to myself, who needs caffeine when everything moves so fast anyways? Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what didn't move fast was pitching for you last season.
Oh, yes, it did. Boom.
So what is your favorite part of playing for the Angels?
Oh, you know why my favorite part of playing for the Angels is?
No.
I play next to Disneyland. All right. Have you ever been to Disneyland before?
I have.
I go all the time.
That's fantastic, Mike.
My parents have a deal with them that if I take out the trash on time, I get to go to Disneyland and I get cotton candy.
That is fantastic, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm really amped for you. So this last offseason, big-time acquisition for your team, the Angels.
Acquisition.
Josh Hamilton.
Yeah, Josh Hamilton.
signs
He's a
with
cool
you
guy.
guys.
Yeah. He keeps asking if I have any white china. He borrowed his mom's best plate.
Oh.
I borrowed my mom's best plate and I brought him in.
What did
Some white china.
I don't think that's
No,
what
he
Josh
didn't like
meant.
it.
Yeah, I don't think he
Great
did.
guy, though. Great guy.
How do you feel about last year?
Oh, last year was super neat.
You had a bunch of steals. You had a great offensive season.
Yeah.
How can you put a year like that, historical year, like in context?
It was so great. I never got to meet Ronald Reagan, though. That's a bummer. Huh?
Why?
That's the low point of my life is that I don't get to meet Ronald Reagan.
That is okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So what's it like? You're the youngest.
You know, Ronnie didn't change. He was
No.
up against a lot of pressures. Ronnie didn't change.
Never-
The world changed around him.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. Hey, listen, you are. It's interesting you're so into Reagan because you are by far the youngest person in the Angels clubhouse.
Yeah.
What is it like being with a lot of guys who are so much older than you are?
Being with a lot of old guys, they're awesome.
Okay.
They have so much worldly wisdom. They teach life lessons.
Like what?
Like sometimes they say, "Get out of the way, queer mo." And I'm like, I learned something today. I learned something. Don't stand in somebody's way. I don't know what the other thing meant, but they were looking at me when they said it, so.
Okay. All
Any
right.
do you have any
My
other-
last name's the same name as a fish.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you known that?
How long have I known that my last name was the name of a fish?
Yeah.
There was one time in kindergarten when they were showing animal flashcards. And they went giraffe, and I went giraffe, yeah. They showed an elephant, and I went elephant, yeah. Showed a picture of a fish, and kids said trout, and I said what? They said no, that's a picture of a trout. And I went what? That's my last name. Gee willikers. Wow.
So now that you're in Major League Baseball, though, there could be a lot of bad influences. Are there people maybe trying to?
Oh, there's some
Push you
bad
the wrong
influence.
way,
There's
yeah.
bad eggs in any dozen.
Yes.
Except for the dozens I buy from the store. I check every one. No, there was a guy in the clubhouse one time who brought a cup, and he said, drink out of this cup. I said, what's in the cup? He said, coffee. And I said, oh, no, thank you. I'm not ready for that yet. I remember how to deal with people offering coffee from Dare.
How do you deal with it? How do you deal with the peer pressure from Dare?
They like the scenarios they acted out. You know, Ronald Reagan's wife, good woman. Yes. But to Dare, they say, I'm not a chicken, you're a turkey. And then we all have a good laugh except for them.
Like if I said, hey, Mike, hey, why don't you, I ran up to Starbucks. I got myself a coffee. I got you a coffee, too. Why don't you have some?
No! Thank you, though. Gee Willikers, I got plenty of juice.
Wow. So what is your favorite television shade?
That question is out of nowhere. That was out of. I appreciate it though. I like it.
Hey, how do
this
you
is
unwind?
an in-depth interview.
How do you unwind? Basically,
Yeah. How do I unwind?
What do you do for entertainment?
Oh, well, I do like television.
Yeah.
There's a lot of. I watch ABC Family. So it's like an edgier version of the Disney Channel. You know, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm a professional baseball player. The last name is the same as a fish.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you're a superstar. You're a pretty young guy. You know,
Yeah.
some people your age would be in college,
Oh, they would be.
but you're not. You're living the dream playing Major League Baseball. I bet in every city there's a lot of girls.
Oh, that's the worst part of playing the game.
Wait, the
There's
what?
so many icky girls trying to kiss me all the time, and they have cooties. You can see the cooties crawling.
You're joking, right? Because girls really
Yeah.
don't have.
Well,
cooties.
sometimes my teammates kiss them on purpose. Yeah, some of the teammates have wives and they're kissing girls on purpose.
Is that so?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Golly gee.
Yeah, I don't think we should be
I don't know.
talking
Jeez,
about
oh,
those
Pete, they're
teammates.
kissing lots of girls at once. Sometimes
Okay.
the hot tub.
No, I
Okay,
really think
yeah.
let's you know what?
Probably
Hey,
don't want to talk so much about that.
Yeah.
you know, Mike. It was great having you on the show. Your
Yeah.
enthusiasm is truly infectious.
Yeah, are you guys pumped?
Yeah, well, I can tell you
Yeah.
love the game. You
I'm
love
going to play 100 more seasons.
That would be a record by a lot.
Yeah. I never want to quit. My last name's the same as a fish.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. Oh, he took off running to the parking lot.
I'm never going to die. For you, the listeners of Sports Podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. I personally recommend a wonderful book called The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Joel saw the movie. He said that it was okay. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Again, that's audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network for your free audiobook. And now it's time for another Weird Sports! Weird Sports.
All right. What do we got this week?
This week's Weird Sport, underwater rugby.
You know, is this like polo?
No, it's rugby.
I mean like water polo.
But
No,
it's
we've already
underwater.
heard about underwater hockey, right?
We did hear about underwater
We heard
hockey.
about that.
Yeah.
This is underwater rugby.
That's and
It's a
totally different.
sport.
Wait, we heard about underwater hockey?
We did hear about
Yeah,
underwater hockey.
Aqua Push was the other name for it.
Right.
This ain't Aqua Push.
Not the band from the 70s.
No, not Aqua Push.
But underwater hockey.
Yeah. Underwater rugby is an underwater sport that has its origins in the physical fitness training of German diving clubs and has little in common with rugby football except for the name.
Well, that's a lot in common in terms of describing a sport.
I would
Yeah.
say so.
It's like I play cat baseball. Oh, what's that like? Oh, it's nothing like baseball.
Right, exactly.
It's with cats.
Yeah, and more blood. Don't try that at home, people.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sally would be really upset.
It's played underwater in a pool at the depth of 3.5 meters to 5 meters, and goals, which are heavy black metal buckets with diameters about 40 centimeters, at the bottom of the pool. That's right. You have to go under the sea to score in this one.
And what is the ball?
The ball is buoyant. There's two teams, each with 6 players. Try to score a goal by sending a slightly negatively buoyant ball. Oh, I see. It's negatively buoyant. So it's slightly negatively
So I believe
buoyant.
the scientific term is sinky.
Yeah,
If
it's
not-
sinky. It's slightly
not buoyant.
but just kind of.
It's a
slightly
little
sinky.
sinky.
It's a
yeah.
little sinky.
And they've
like,
gotta put in-
like
yeah.
a leaf maybe that gets wet.
Yeah, it just sinks. It doesn't sink a lot, but it sinks a little.
Yeah.
Still takes a little pushing. You try to get into your opponent's goal. It is described as a fast and exhausting game. And therefore, subs replace their players on the fly. People can just jump on in there.
Well, it's like hockey. They replace on the fly, right?
Yeah. Oh, totally.
So I imagine a little different because people are underwater when they play this game.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah. Being underwater makes it a little different.
With a negatively buoyed ball.
Yeah. A little sinky. The ball may be passed in any direction, but must not leave the water.
Oh, okay. So you can't like
throw it through the air.
Yeah.
Right. You can't like push it up as like a trick play, and everyone goes, "Where did the ball go?" And then it's relatively
I think
sinky.
that would
so it
make
hits 'em.
passing really hard.
Probably. It flies for about 2 to 3 meters before water resistance stops it, so you can push off pretty well from it.
It's
Really? That's
2 to 3
interesting.
meters is between 6 feet 6 inches and.
Oh,
9
Mr.
feet, 9
Metric! Look at
inches.
Mr. Metric and English system conversions over here.
Why do we always have to make fun of?
Because
Make
we
fun of
fear
what?
knowledge, ultimately.
Yeah.
It threatens us.
Yeah.
That passing is all about. It's a good tactic. It says in here. It just points out that it's a good tactic.
Passing is a good tactic.
That's what it says. It's not a very well written Wikipedia article. In fact,
to
at the
the
top
part-
it says that they need additional citations for verification. Never a good sign.
Yeah. Get to the part where people start drowning because that must happen.
In 1961,
Yes!
a member of the German underwater club in Köln named Ludwig von Bersuda came up with the idea of an underwater ball game.
Oh, he didn't drown. I really thought you were telling us about somebody drowning there.
Wait, dude, let him go.
Oh, okay.
Air-filled balls are not suitable for underwater games, as they are buoyant and always return to the surface.
This is all fascinating stuff.
The
that we're
first
hearing.
underwater ball was invented when Bersuda filled the ball with salt water. Since the density of the ball was now greater than that of normal water, it no longer floated to the surface, but slowly sank to the bottom.
Yeah, you could make the argument that salt water is normal water because
The sink rate could, within certain limits, be controlled by the concentration of the salt solution. As soccer balls are too large to be practical, water polo balls are often used.
are water polo balls smaller than soccer balls?
Water polo balls are like volleyball sized, I believe.
Oh yeah, volleyballs. Okay, all right.
If that makes, I think, ish.
Ludwig von Bersuda spanned the middle of the pool with a net, as in volleyball, that stopped 1 meter above the pool bottom.
So you have to go under.
2 teams played against each other. An offensive team had to carry the ball to the opposing field and put it into a bucket. The idea for the game was ready, and the DUC Köln used it to warm up before normal training. Other teams saw it and started to use saltwater-filled balls themselves.
Okay, is this?
This whole thing feels like a mystery the way it's
I know.
being
Yeah,
delivered to me.
the way the cadence here is making. me
I'm
feel
adding a
like-
little gravitas to
Oh,
it.
okay. All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because frankly, there's nothing in this article about somebody drowning.
No.
No.
Somebody must have. You don't play an underwater sport.
No,
and not have
let
somebody
me sum up the
drown.
next 4 paragraphs for you. Started picking on, people started playing it in an organized way. They had started a battle. The first underwater rugby tournament was called Battle for the Golden Ball.
Please, I mean,
November 5th, 1965, Battle for the Golden
a
Ball.
date which shall live in infamy because
forget.
all of those people drowned while fighting over a golden ball.
Nope, just 6 teams.
Because a
Bochum,
ball, if it's made
Dusseldorf,
of gold,
Duisburg,
is-
Essen, and Ludenscheid all played.
Because a golden ball, gold is very dense. It would be really hard to carry that thing around underwater.
I think it was just the regular water polo ball filled with saltwater solution.
Are you trying?
The tournament was held every year after that, though, in 1965.
It's a pretty old sport, actually, since 1965.
Yeah, that's the oldest tournament in the history of that particular sport. What, like 50 years?
Are there other tournaments in the history of that particular
There
sport?
are, but none of them kept going. This is the only one they point out specifically. Scandinavian countries like it more than other countries.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fucking
Germans,
Swedes.
Austrians, they dig it. Right now they have domestic competition. Australia, Colombia, Germany, Sweden, Venezuela, Mexico, Turkey, New Zealand, and the USA.
How rough can you get? Can you,
How rough can you
Can you
get?
push? Can you shove? Can you dunk?
Well, let me go back to that because you
Headlocks.
can.
Hold
It's
people
actually
underwater.
very vigorous. You can push. You can't headlock. You can't dunk, but you can push. Get a little
You
pushy.
should be able to dunk.
Yeah, you'd think so, right? But on the other hand, think about it. You're holding your breath.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going, 15 feet down? That's 5 meters?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
close.
a pretty deep dive. If you were to dunk people and hold them under, they'd drown pretty quick. There'd be a bunch of dead Dusseldorfians.
Not if you have the strength of a champion, though.
Yeah, it's true. If you had the strength of a champion, nothing can hold you down.
Can I just go ahead and point out, you know how in almost every weird sport, Phil lists off the countries where the sport is like played competitively?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what countries on every single one of those lists?
USA.
The United States of America.
That's true.
That's how much we kick ass at everything. No matter how weird and obscure your sport is, we have put a team together. We might not be good at it, but we've put a team together.
I'll angle it in this way. The United States probably has more hipsters than other countries, and they want to play really obscure things so they can be like, yeah, I play underwater rugby.
You probably haven't
I don't
heard
play
of
lame overwater rugby. That's for jocks.
Also, it's nothing like regular rugby. It has only the name in common.
Plus, I can wear my big rimmed glasses underneath my goggles.
There's nothing more fun than going down to Prospect Park and then playing underwater rugby in the above-ground pool. We'll bring the turntable and put some records on.
Yeah.
There's this great, like soft cheese that we get from the farmer's market nearby.
Yeah.
It's not processed.
No.
No preservatives.
And not from that, lame popular cheese guy, but the cool, obscure farmer's market cheese
He's
guy.
nicer
The one
to
the
his
health
cows.
department almost shut down.
Right, exactly.
Fascists.
And that brings us to an end of another Weird Sport. Oh, I played underwater rugby before it was cool.
All right, citizens of Podcast Town, that brings us to the close of the sports podcast. Did you guys jump on each other for that line?
No.
That's just how fast it's going these days. You got to catch up, Jordan.
Ooh, jeez.
You want to start it again?
I'm still enjoying this burrito. Thank you very much,
very
Phil.
nice.
I appreciate it.
Of course.
It's not too squished.
No.
Mike Trout ran through you.
Right. Me and Joel can do sports slower if you want to just say sports.
Citizens of Podcast Town, this brings to the close of another sports.
Sports.
All right, see, that was mocking.
That felt pretty good. We should do that pace from now on, right, Jordan? So that your sensitive ears don't get blown out by all the speed.
That's not necessary at all.
Sorry, man. I just heard a bunch of hipsters talking about underwater rugby, and it made me real condescending.
All right, Phil, would you like to give out our contact information?
I sure would, Jordan. You can email us at sportspodcast@gmail.com. That's sportspodcast@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at sports3podcast. That's at sports3podcast. You can find us on Facebook by searching Sports Podcast in your little top bar thingy. You can find us on Stitcher Radio. Download the Stitcher app today at Stitcher.com and search Sports Podcast. You can find us on YouTube by going to youtube.com/comedypodcast. No, ComedyPodnet. That's right. youtube.com/comedypodnet. You can find us on iTunes by searching Sports 3 Space Podcast. That's Sports 3, all one word, Space Podcast. And while you're there, why not rate and review? It helps us out a lot. Brings the show to a new audience. Or find all of our back episodes at comedypodcastnetwork.com.
You know what I just realized? Mike Trout didn't leave. He's just running laps around the building.
Boy, running laps sure is fun! Whee!
That's actually a little disturbing.
I'm coming back around again! Whoa, it's another one!
This is a fairly busy road out there.
I know, yeah. We should do something. All right, we got to go. Lights off.
You have received this transmission from the Comedy Podcast Network. For more shows, visit comedypodcastnetwork.com.